what aspects of money management women need to know about. And I was actually going around the newsroom to ask what women would like to know about. And a lot of them spoke about the need to know more about maternity benefits in health insurance policies. What are the factors that determine the quantum of the cover that they receive? Are there reasons why these claims get rejected? And what is the waiting period all about? Who offers these policies? There's quite a few questions. And so to answer all of them, we've got Nikhil Jha, who's a co-founder of Hercules Insurance Advisor. Nikhil, thanks so much for taking the time. First of all, are these policies widely available? The reason I'm asking is because I've heard that a lot of companies discontinued these schemes.
Right. So there are quite four or five good policies available for maternity cover. But if you ask me whether all the policies cover maternity, so the answer is no. Only few policies that covers maternity with the comprehensive benefit like no room rent and everything. So if you ask me whether we should go for the maternity plan or no, for a newlywed family, if you are looking for a policy with maternity, we can go with the maternity plans. But if you ask me, Nikhil, whether we should go for a policy while we are already having a kids and go with a maternity policy, the answer is quietly a no. Because if you take a policy with maternity cover, there are many other benefits that are going to be lacked. Okay. So in that policy, you don't will be having no claim bonus. Then there will be no good sum insured benefit you will be having. So if you are considering that aspects, maternity policies are very few that will be available in the market.
Understood. Okay, so let's talk about those that are available and we'll come to the conclusion and we'll delve a little deeper into that in just a bit. But which companies offer this and what are the preconditions that they have?
So there are total 5 good policies available in the market that cover maternity on real ground. First policy will be Niva Bupa Aspire with the lowest coverage of lowest waiting period of 9 months. That is the first policy. Second will be Star Women Care. That covers maternity after 24 months. That is the second policy. Third one will be Care Joy. That covers 9 months after the 9 months of taking the policy maternity. Fourth will be HDFC Ergo's Parenthood Rider with the same Optima Secure policy. That will be cover maternity after 24 months. Fifth and last will be Aditya Birla. That cover maternity only after 3 months of taking the policy. So these 5 are the quite good policy. If you are looking for a maternity one, these 5 should be considered.
Okay. Now, you've already mentioned one of the preconditions, which is the waiting period. This is, right. Now, after getting the policy, you can only claim this benefit after that waiting period is done, and you've stipulated what there is. Now, what do you need to bear in mind about the cost? Because there are certain preconditions that need to be met about if you go to a particular hospital and they charge you for the room rent, for the procedures, etc. What do you need to bear in mind?
Yeah. So if you take any of the policy from this 5 that I have mentioned above, in this 5 policy, there has limitations. So let's take an example. We are taking the policy named as Niva Bupa Aspire. In this policy, if you take a 25 lakh policy, the maximum maternity amount you will get 20,000 for a year. And if you take a 3 years policy together, at that point you can claim maximum 60,000 after 9 months. So what you have to look onto it, all the maternity amount should not exclude more than 60,000. If it excludes, then on that scenario, you have to pay the difference amount. So let's take an example. Niva Bupa Aspire will give you 60,000 as a maternity amount, but your hospital bills, including maternity cost, will be 1 lakh rupees. So on that scenario, remaining 40,000 you have to pay from your pocket, and 60,000 will be settled by Niva Bupa. In most of the policies across industry, there will be limitation of 1 lakh rupees, maximum of 2 lakh rupees after 3 or 4 years of waiting period.
Okay, so that's, and Nikhil, are you aware of how much these bills usually come up to? Because I've heard that it can be substantially more than 1 or 2 lakhs.
Right. So if you consider the Mumbai part for a normal delivery, we are talking about, it will be cost you near about 1 to 1.25 lakhs. And if you consider this C-section delivery, on that scenario, it will be near about 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs.
Wow. Okay.
Depending upon the conditions what are going on the current scenarios.
Okay. And so just to come back to the point that you were making, when you're saying that these maternity covers, they have certain drawbacks because you don't have a good no-claim bonus, etc. Right. What are these drawbacks?
So if we consider the current situation that are going into the market with comprehensive benefits, like there will be no room rent restrictions, no co-payment, no sublimits, then unlimited restoration will be also there, pre and post hospitalization is also there. But if you take this policy with maternity one, in those most of the policies, it has a drawbacks like you can get mostly up to single private rooms. Then consumable items will be not covered. No claim bonus will not be more than 3 or 4 times, not more than that. So if you're taking a 10 lakh policy, maximum it will go up to 40 lakhs, not more than that. Whereas in other policy, other good comprehensive policy where maternity is not there, it will maximum goes up to 10 times, 20 times, or in some policies it has unlimited times as well.
Okay.
So these are the drawbacks.
So there are quite a few drawbacks. So therefore, the question that I'm asking is, now beyond all of this, suppose you have a pregnancy, all right, and you have to have a delivery, obviously, and so you have been admitted in a situation where there is a complication, Nikhil. Will your normal health insurance cover, which is not a maternity policy, cover for complications? So explain how this works.
Yeah. So if you are taking a policy where the maternity is not covered, so anything related to maternity is not covered in the policy throughoutly. Whereas a condition where ectopic pregnancy happen, where there is a condition named as ectopic pregnancy where the baby will be born on the baby will be developed in fallopian tubes. On that scenario, it will be covered. But if you consider normal delivery or C-section where the policy doesn't cover maternity, so you are not going to get a single penny out of the policy.
Understood. Okay, so you need to have a maternity. So the question, just to come to the conclusion of this, Nikhil, is that if you're talking about spending between 1 and 2 lakh of rupees, and if you're planning it well in advance, then the two options available to you are either you invest in this policy, because this is ultimately something that people know will eventually happen, right? Either in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, people generally nowadays plan these pregnancies and in these deliveries. So you have the option of saving for 4 years for this expense that you know that you will incur. Alternatively, you buy the policy.
Right.
Weigh the pros and cons of both of those options.
Yeah. So in some of the policies, it has a very good benefit that your newborn baby will be covered from day one. So if we are taking a policy, let's take an example for a maternity purpose, and we have taken some part of the claim from maternity one, and the newborn baby, there are many complications that can arise to a newborn baby like jaundice, pneumonia, and all that stuff. So if you're taking a policy with maternity cover, all these things will be covered. Whereas if you don't take a policy with maternity cover, on that scenario, you have to end up paying more premium, more amount in the hospital. Let's take an example. For a maternity, it will be 1 lakh rupees. If your baby is 10 days into NICU, on that scenario, your total bill will be 1 lakh for a normal delivery, plus near about 3 lakhs for a baby cover. So if you are saving some amount into the mutual fund or some stocks in order to use that money while taking any type of maternity one, it will be a good. But in terms of complications arise, it will be a better option if you take a maternity policy where baby will be covered from day one.
So what you're saying, and which are these policies in which babies are covered?
First will be Niva Bupa Aspire covers baby from day one. Then Care Joy covers baby from day one, and Aditya Birla Max cover baby from day one.
Okay.
These 3 policies cover baby from day one itself.
Okay, so within that overarching limit, so therefore if you are weighing the pros and cons, ultimately from a cost standpoint, it might be beneficial if you're only considering the maternity benefits and the drawbacks that you've already spoken about, but from the perspective of covering the baby, which is not something that you can do, right, Nikhil? You don't get policies for newborns, right?
Right. After 91 days only you can take a policy for your kid.
Understood. All right. So that's something to bear in mind. We've spoken about the various options as well, and we've talked about the pros and cons. Ultimately, as is the case in personal finance, the decision has to be made by you, weighing all of the pros and all of the cons. It's our job to present it to you. Nikhil, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time. Pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.